The star of the little couple, Will Klein, recently revealed he married his secret girlfriend, Emma. His parents and sister were overjoyed. Today, we'll explain everything. If you follow the little couple, you know Will, the adorable, spirited boy who captured our hearts alongside his parents, Dr. Jen Arnold and Bill Klein, and his little sister Zoe. From his adoption from China to all his adventures on screen, fans watched him grow up before their eyes. But now, we're not looking at the past. We're looking at the future, where Will Klein, now an adult, has found the love of his life. His secret romance with Emma has blossomed into a beautiful marriage. Picture a young man shaped by a loving family, a secret girlfriend, and a wedding that brought happiness to everyone around him. Will's parents and sister are thrilled. It's 2035, and Will is 25 years old. Time has flown since the energetic kid we saw on TV. He's now a young man with a purpose, a career, and big dreams. Inspired by his mother, Dr. Jen Arnold, Will followed her into medicine. After graduating from Harvard Medical School, he is now a resident doctor at Boston Children's Hospital, a place close to his family's heart. Will specializes in pediatric care, working with children who remind him of himself, kids who might feel different but have big dreams. His patients love him. One little girl, Sophie, once said, "You make me laugh even when I'm scared." Will just smiled and said, "That's all I ever wanted, to make people feel better." His colleagues see not just a doctor, but someone kind and dedicated. Dr. Paddle, his mentor, often says, "Will's got a gift." He's not just a doctor. He's a friend to every kid here. But medicine isn't all Will is about. He's still very close to his family. He spends time with his parents, Jen and Bill, and his sister Zoe, who is grown up too. Weekends often find them together at the family home in Florida or visiting each other in Boston. They share meals, tell stories, and laugh about old times, like when Will tried to teach Zoe how to ride a bike and ended up in a bush. Zoe teases him, "You're still the clumsiest big brother ever," and Will just grins. "Yeah, but you love me anyway." Life is busy and full, but there's something his family doesn't know yet. Someone who would change everything, Emma. She has been Will's little secret for some time. Their story began on a crisp autumn evening in 2032. Will was 22, in his final year at Harvard Medical School. Focused on studies, he also attended a charity gala organized to raise funds for children's health care, a cause close to his heart. The room buzzed with chatter, laughter, and clinking glasses. That's when Will notice someone special, Emma. Emma was a 23-year-old nursing student volunteering at the event. She was cheerful, full of energy, and made everyone feel welcome. Her dark hair was tied in a messy bun, and she wore a simple blue dress that matched her lively spirit. Will noticed her arranging items for the silent auction. Introduced by a mentor, they were told to team up. "Will, this is Emma. She's one of our star volunteers. Emma, meet Will Klein. You two will help promote the auction." "Hi, Emma. Nice to meet you." "Hi, Will." "Likewise. Let's make this auction a hit." And just like that, they were off. They moved through the crowd together, talking to guests and explaining the auction items, from a signed baseball to a weekend getaway to a painting by a local artist. But it wasn't the work that stood out. It was the way they clicked. They started talking, really talking. "Emma, what got you into nursing?" "Oh, it's a long story. I always loved taking care of people, especially kids. When I was little, my brother broke his leg, and I spent all day playing nurse, bringing him juice, fixing his pillows. I guess it stuck." "What about you? Why medicine?" "My mom's a doctor, a pediatrician. Growing up, I saw her help kids like me. Kids who maybe didn't fit the usual mold. I wanted to do that too, make a difference." "That's beautiful, Will. It's rare to meet someone who really cares like that." Hours flew by as they talked about favorite books, pets, and dreams for the future. Time seemed to stop. As the last guest left, Will realized he didn't want the night to end. "Emma, I've really enjoyed talking with you. Would you want to grab coffee sometime?" "I'd love that, Will." They exchanged numbers, and a connection began that neither saw coming. Over the next few months, they became inseparable. It started with a small coffee date, then long walks in Boston Common, volunteering at shelters, and study sessions in the library. Emma tested Will on anatomy. Will helped Emma with pharmacology. Between textbooks and flashcards, there were stolen glances, quiet giggles, and lingering touches. But they kept it a secret. Will had a reason. His family wasn't just any family. They were public figures, and he wanted to be sure the relationship was serious before sharing it. As the years went on, their love grew stronger. Emma graduated from nursing school, Will finished med school, and they supported each other's careers while staying close. By 2035, they were ready to marry. When Will finally introduced Emma to his parents and sister, they were thrilled. They saw how happy she made him and embraced her completely. The wedding was full of love, laughter, and family support, celebrating the bond of a couple who had grown together through shared dreams, compassion, and dedication to helping others. Life continued with balance and happiness. Will excelled at Boston Children's Hospital. Emma pursued her nursing career and continued volunteering. Together, they built a life grounded in love, respect, and shared purpose. Their story shows that love can grow quietly, patiently, and beautifully. It reminds us that family support, shared values, and dedication to each other make a lasting relationship. Will and Emma's journey inspires, proving that true love is worth waiting for. Will Klein, known to millions from the little couple, grew up in the spotlight. That meant guarding his private life carefully. He didn't want Emma thrown into that world too soon. I just want us, he told her one night, away from cameras and questions. Emma understood. She wasn't in it for fame. She just wanted him. So, they built their own little world. Secret dates, coded texts, meet me at the usual spot, their favorite bench by the Charles River. They stole kisses when no one was looking, their laughter carried away by the wind. It wasn't always easy. A classmate almost caught them holding hands once, and Zoe, Will's sister, asked why he was smiling at his phone so much. Just a funny meme, he said, brushing it off. One evening, as the sun dipped low over the water, they talked seriously. Emma, do you ever think about telling your family? My family. Will asked. All the time, Emma replied. I want them to know you. They'd love you. It's just, I want to protect us, a little longer. Is T. Fast forward to the summer of 2034. Will and Emma had been together 2 years. Will was 24, Emma 25, and he knew she was the one. He had been planning everything for months. It started with the ring. After weeks of searching, he chose a delicate diamond band. Simple, elegant, just like Emma. He hid it in his sock drawer, checking it every night like a kid with a secret treasure. Next was the place and the moment. Their favorite spot was a quiet beach an hour outside Boston, a place they had visited countless times. On a warm July evening, Will told Emma he wanted to take her somewhere special, keeping it casual. Behind the scenes, he was a mess, handshaking as he packed a picnic, strung up fairy lights, rehearsed what he would say. When they arrived, the sun was just starting to set, painting the sky in oranges and pinks. Will, what's all this? Emma asked. It's beautiful, he said. Just wanted to make tonight special. Come, sit with me. They ate, talked, laughed. Everything seemed normal, except Will's heart was racing. As the last light faded, he took her hand and stood. Emma, there's something I need to say. These past 2 years have been the best of my life. You're my best friend, my partner, the person who makes every day better. I've never been so sure of anything. Emma, will you marry me? Oh my God, well, yes. Yes, of course, she said. They hugged, the waves crashing softly, the lights twinkling around them. It was perfect. But the next step was telling his family. A week after the proposal, Will knew it was time. He couldn't keep Emma a secret any longer. He planned a trip home to Florida, bringing Emma with him. He was nervous, more nervous than proposing. What if they didn't approve? What if they were upset he'd hidden it? Deep down, he knew his family would love her. It was a Sunday afternoon when they walked in. Jen was in the kitchen, Bill setting the table, and Zoe sprawled on the couch with her phone. The usual chaos of a Klein family gathering. Jen, Will Klein, you're here. And who's this? Hey, Mom. Everyone, this is Emma. We've got something to tell you. They sat around the dining table, roast chicken and mashed potatoes in front of them. Will took a deep breath. Emma squeezing his hand. Emma and I have been together 2 years. I didn't tell you because I wanted to keep it private with everything from the show, but she's amazing and we're engaged. Zoe's jaw dropped. Engaged? Oh my gosh. Will. 2 years, honey. And Emma, welcome, sweetheart, Jen said, hugging Emma tightly. Bill added, you sneaky kid. Emma, you're family now. We're thrilled. The room exploded with joy. Zoe demanded to see the ring. It's perfect, she said, already planning her role as bridesmaid. Any worry will have melted away. His parents and sister weren't just happy. They were over the moon. We've been waiting for this day, Jen said. Emma, you're everything we could hope for him. Emma replied, Thank you, Dr. Arnold. I mean, Jen. I'm so glad to be here. That night, they stayed up late. Emma fit right in as Jen shared stories from Will's childhood, and Bill joked about teaching him to dance for the wedding. The secret was out, and the Klein family felt stronger and happier than ever. With the family's blessing, Will and Emma dove into wedding planning. They wanted something small, intimate, with just their closest loved ones. After weeks of searching, they found a beautiful garden venue outside Boston. Winding paths, blooming flowers, a day's glow perfect. Emma spent days with Zoe hunting for the dress and finally chose a flowing gown with lace sleeves. Simple, elegant, stunning. Will went for a classic gray suit, joking with Bill. Think I can pull this off, Dad? Bill laughed. You'll look better than I did. Invitations went out, handwritten and personal, and they picked a spring date in April 2035 when the flowers would be in full bloom. The months after the wedding passed in a blur of happiness and new routines. Will and Emma settled into their first apartment in Boston, a cozy space with sunlight streaming through large windows and a small balcony overlooking the city. It wasn't fancy, but it was theirs. They painted the walls soft cream and decorated with photos of family, friends, and memories from their courtship. Early mornings became their favorite time. Will would brew coffee while Emma packed lunches, the smell of fresh pastries drifting from a nearby bakery. They would sit together on the balcony, sipping coffee, sharing plans for the day. I still can't believe we're married, Emma said one morning, leaning against his shoulder. Will smiled, wrapping an arm around her. Me neither. But it feels right. Like we've been building to this for years. Work was busy for both of them. Will's residency at Boston Children's Hospital was intense, with long hours, night shifts, and emotionally heavy cases. Emma's nursing rotations at nearby hospitals kept her on her toes, learning, caring, and growing in her profession. But no matter how stressful their days were, they made time for each other. Even a 5-minute phone call during a break could bring laughter or comfort, reminding them of their bond. Weekends were reserved for family. Often, they would drive down to Florida to visit Jen, Bill, and Zoe, who had become a big part of Emma's life. Zoe loved teasing Emma about her new role in the family. You've got to learn all the inside jokes now, she'd say with a wink. Emma laughed and played along, quickly fitting into the rhythm of the Klein household. One weekend, they all gathered at the family home for a cookout. Bill was manning the grill. Jen was making her famous lemonade. Zoe was running around with friends from the neighborhood, and Will and Emma were quietly enjoying the chaos together. At one point, Will whispered to Emma, I love that this is our life. Simple, messy, full of love. Emma nodded. It feels like home, even when we're away from our apartment. It's the people, not the place. Despite their busy lives, Will and Emma made sure to nurture their relationship. They scheduled date nights, often simple dinners or walks along the Charles River, revisiting the bench where they had shared so many secret moments. Feels like old times, Will said one evening, holding Emma's hand. Emma laughed softly. Except now we don't have to hide. Sometimes they would reminisce about the early days of their relationship, the secret texts, stolen kisses, and quiet moments away from cameras. Remember how nervous we were at that first charity gala? Emma asked. Will chuckled. I was terrified. I couldn't even imagine asking you out, let alone marrying you one day. And yet, those quiet beginnings had blossomed into a life full of shared goals, trust, and laughter. Their love had grown stronger through challenges, distance, and secrecy. proving that patience and understanding could withstand anything. Professionally, both were thriving. Will was quickly gaining respect among his peers for his dedication and gentle approach with patients. Parents would often ask for him specifically because of how kind and attentive he was. Emma was excelling in nursing, known for her empathy and professionalism. Together, they became a support system for each other, talking through difficult cases, celebrating small wins, and reminding each other why they chose this path. The first year of marriage also brought new adventures. They traveled whenever they could, exploring small towns in New England, hiking trails in the Berkshires, and spending quiet weekends at the beach where Will had proposed. Each trip was a chance to create more memories, to laugh, to learn more about each other, and to simply be present. One summer, they decided to host a small reunion with friends and family at their apartment. Jen and Bill flew up. Zoe brought a few friends, and everyone spent the evening sharing stories, playing games, and enjoying Emma's homemade treats. We'll watch the scene, feeling overwhelmed with gratitude. "We've got everything we need," he whispered to Emma. Emma smiled, resting her head on his shoulder. "We do, and it keeps growing every day." Even mundane moments were meaningful. Grocery shopping together, cooking dinner, doing laundry. They found joy in routine because it was shared. On quieter nights, they would sit on the balcony, talking about the future, dreaming about kids, career goals, and the family traditions they wanted to carry on. Through it all, their love for the Klein family never wavered. Emma became particularly close with Zoe, who delighted in teaching her little inside jokes and showing her favorite childhood spots around Florida. Will's parents adored seeing their son so happy and in love, often sending care packages to Boston, filled with treats, notes, and reminders that family was always there. By the end of their first year, Will and Emma had built a life that was both grounded and exciting. They had weathered long hours, stressful days, and the occasional disagreement, but they always returned to the core of their relationship: love, trust, and laughter. They had learned that marriage was not just about grand gestures, but about the small, everyday moments that built a shared life. One evening, as they sat together on their apartment balcony, watching the city lights, Will looked at Emma with a quiet smile. "This first year has been amazing, hasn't it?" Emma nodded, squeezing his hand. "The best. And it's just the beginning." They sat together in comfortable silence, the soft hum of the city around them, feeling grateful for each other, for the journey that had brought them here, and for the countless memories yet to come. Their love story, born in secrecy, nurtured through patience, and celebrated openly with family and friends, had become a foundation for a lifetime of happiness. And so the little couple star, Will Klein, had not only grown into a dedicated doctor and loving family member, but had also found his forever with Emma, the woman who had been by his side through every secret smile and shared dream. Together, they were ready to face whatever life had in store. Side by side, heart to heart, forever. The second year of marriage brought new excitement and unexpected surprises. Will and Emma had settled fully into their routines, but both secretly wondered when the time would come to expand their family. The idea had been floating between them since the wedding, whispered late at night on their balcony, or between sips of morning coffee. "Do you think we're ready?" Emma asked one morning as she stirred her tea. Will took her hand across the small table. "I think we're ready for anything, as long as we're together." It wasn't long before they discovered they were expecting. The moment Emma realized, she could barely contain her excitement. She waited until Will came home from a long night at the hospital and jumped into his arms. "We're going to be parents," she whispered, tears in her eyes. Will's reaction was a mix of awe, laughter, and happy tears. "We're going to be parents," he repeated, as if saying it aloud made it more real. They held each other in the quiet of their apartment, the city lights twinkling outside, imagining the tiny life growing inside Emma. The news of the pregnancy was shared first with the Klein family. Jen and Bill were ecstatic. Zoe jumped up and down in excitement, and the apartment was soon filled with laughter, hugs, and a few tears. Emma felt instantly accepted, completely loved by the family she had grown so close to. "We're going to be the best grandparents," Jen declared, squeezing Emma's hands. Will and Emma approached pregnancy with the same care and love they brought to every aspect of their life. Emma's health became a priority, with Will accompanying her to every checkup, taking careful notes, and making sure she had everything she needed. Even in the midst of their busy careers, they found ways to be present, sometimes trading off shifts so one of them could always be with her. As the months passed, their apartment slowly transformed to welcome the new baby. They painted the nursery a soft pastel green, with shelves for books, stuffed animals, and a crib near the window where sunlight poured in each morning. Zoe came down for a weekend and helped choose decorations, picking out a small mobile of stars and moons that hung above the crib. "It's perfect," she said, smiling at Emma. Work continued to be demanding, but the couple's love and teamwork made it manageable.